Hello, my fellow Africans. I want to say this. There's something unique about Africa, especially in Kenya. I don't know usually why this happens in Kenya, usually, commonly happening in Kenya. Putin Yuan said this. When an African man becomes rich, he leaves Africa just to be a cemetery. Why did he say this? Because when an African man becomes rich, his bank account will be in Switzerland. Listen to me very carefully. And before you listen to me very carefully, make sure you follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more information. Why did he say this, that African is like a cemetery? When an African man becomes rich, his bank account will be in Switzerland. He goes to France. He travels to France for medical treatment. He invests in Germany. He consumes in Chinese. He buys in Dubai. He prays in Mecca, all Rome. His children study in Germany, UK, Canada, or US. Now tell me, the same guy, he travels to Germany, Europe, USA for tourism. When will Kenya arise? When will Africa arise? When you spend all your assets in other continents. Imagine you have just become rich. Instead of you to make sure that your continent also develops, you take your assets to invest in different continents. Are we trying to develop Africa? For example, in Kenya, let me say this in Kenya. The most wealthy people, all wealthy people, first thing, medication is in Germany, is in France, Chinese, Italy, Germany. What about those who are not wealthy? They are just languishing in poverty. Nobody considers them. Nobody cares. Nobody looks on them. They are dying like dogs. They are dying like animals. Where is humanity? Where is humanity in a human being? Africans, Kenyans. I'm saying this dwelling to Kenyans. I'm dwelling much to Kenyans because this thing rampantly happens in Kenya. Nobody, despite a president, despite who, nobody cares for. Everybody cares for himself or herself. In Kenya, even the government can loot as small that a common man has to benefit himself. Until when? When will this stop? When are we going to create brotherhood in our own continent? When are we going to create that brotherhood in our own country? When are we going to look at your neighbor as if is your relative? When are we going to live in unity, harmony, and peace, love and care, as the Bible commanded us to do? Until when will this start? When are we going to stop hatred to to our own people. When are we going to stop? When? You can imagine until the other continents start to give us to give Africa to as an example of asymmetry. We are just there happily living. We are not even bothered. We don't even care. When are we going to stop this? God, may you send your son for the second time to rescue our continent, Africa. May you send your son, your begotten son, to rescue Kenya for the second time. Because the first time that you sent your son, I think they killed your son before he reached in Africa. And he didn't even spread the gospel in Kenya. Let your son come back to Kenya so that he can rescue the Kenyans. Kenyans are suffering. Kenyans are dying. Kenyans are really suffering. Kenyans are suffering. Nobody cares about Kenyans. Anybody who can find a space, he scoops with it. But if you don't have that potential to scoop a space, nobody cares for you. You can imagine in Kenya they use 104 billion for just diverting health insurance care from NHIF to SHA. 404 billion. Yet they are diverting that, and yet they have no medical in hospitals. They have no medicine in hospitals. When you go to hospital, you're being told you have done your diagnosis. We have done diagnosis to you. Take this and go to the chemist, buy medicine for yourself. Yet you don't have any single coin in your pocket. What will you do? People are really dying. People are dying. It's not a joke. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. People are really dying. People are suffering in Kenya. Those the same people, they have no job. They have no job in their entire life. But you are being told you have been paying NHIF, NSA, this SHA, but no treatment unless you have some coins in your pocket. Kenyans are really suffering. Kenyans are really suffering. May God send his begotten son for the second time to rescue Kenya.